right, so I'm excited. I usually don't have to, usually have to do a recap or something. There was no need for a recap. We are on the precipice of getting some vital information, some information that I've been living for, dying for a minute now. I'm excited. I'm absolutely excited, to the point where I've babbled enough, right? I've babbled absolutely enough. So here we go. We are about to hop in to 199. Gaston, last chapter. It's like, give me my memory. Shut up. Here we go. Traumerei. Goodness gracious, it's here. Traumerei. Hey. Okay. Right after the 10 great family leaders finish climbing the tower. Oh, those are heavy words. I can't believe I'm reading these words. Why are you standing there staring out into space? Did you fall asleep or something? Pobedao Gaston. Oh, Gaston. When did you get here? He's always been into the really big coats, but not super duper big. See, this is clean. What he's got on right now is clean, very traditional. A while ago, numbskull. What were you looking at? A flower. A flower? What for? That doesn't sound like you. You're more suited to things like fish, turtles, and octopuses. But they're just so fascinating. What do you mean? I never planted or created these little things. They just come out of nowhere, put down roots, and bloom. Then, before you know it, the whole area is full of flowers. And they go ahead and do whatever they want. Lopobia Traumerei, regardless of how I feel. Okay? It's both irritating and amazing at the same time. And he dashes the flower. Come on, let's go. You big jerk. Okay. Traumerei's past 1. When we were climbing the tower, it was unusual for us to be apart even for one day. But now none of us see each other very much. Interesting. I wonder if he's speaking on all of them. What's up, Blaze? I wonder if he's speaking about all of them, or is he speaking specifically about... He said none of us. If he's speaking specifically about Traumerei, because I think I headcanoned that they would do like what Bomb and Company do. Like Bomb and Company, like Team A, Team B, they split up, they do their thing, they come back, they split up, come back. So it's all of them. So interesting that they spent majority of their time climbing the tower. Let me just keep reading. Get hung up on speech bubbles, a whole chapter ahead of us. I don't really mind. At the moment, I'm enjoying building my own fishbowl. Traitor. Traumerei's floating palace. Earlier version of the later Lopobia battleship. Okay. All right. His layers of clothes is still the same traditional style, but more. Yeah, it's way cooler. It feels more traditional. Like the shoes he's wearing is traditional. He doesn't have the dumb slacks under. It feels like a very traditional outfit. I like it a lot. But Jihad interacts more with you than anyone else, Traumerei. Jihad's the king now. I just want to help. I know how busy he is. Is there something going on between you two that I should know about? Even if there is, I'm not obliged to tell you. It's the aquarium, the fishbowl. Everything Jihad does is for our sake. So don't fight him about every little thing. And that includes the selection of princesses. Once I'm all settled in my new home, I'll try to have kids of my own. Interesting. I don't understand what you see in that guy's bizarre ideas. And what's that about having kids? Are you two getting along better again? Not at all. Who is he talking about, you two? She's the same as always. Since that day, she's been on a different wavelength from us. Towerborn? Maybe she really is a lower creature like Jihad says. Maybe she's not like us. Traum was in love? Or had a love interest? What? Oh, snap. What? Oh, let me just glide through this and then we'll come back. Let me glide through this. If only I could change those foolish thoughts of hers as easily as I can control animals. I was going to say she's a blonde, right? She's a blonde. So I'm wondering. And so shut up. She's a blonde. I'm like, when I thought of blonde, my first thought before we get this speech bubble, like lowly creature, I was thinking of what's her name from the Ari family. But I'm like, no, once I get this bubble, that's why I was like Towerborn. But then it's like, maybe it could be Robinon's mother. Okay. By the way, I spoke with the master from the workshop recently. Okay. The master? Why would you want to have anything to do with him? He's so eerie. He said he didn't get around to giving you the present he promised you when you were climbing the tower. And he asked if you needed anything. Is that right? Well, now that you mention it, there is something I've always wanted. No kidding. What is it? A creature that's nothing in and of itself, but can become anything and keep it. And then how often do we get shots that have these stars here? The stars, whatever the hell it is. I know there's theories around it. But interesting. So the workshop gifted all of them specific things, but Traumerei didn't get his. Is it okay to even guess that? They're lighthouses, okay. So they all were promised something while climbing. I'd really like something like that, okay? A few days later. A few days? What do we mean by a few? It's more than 3. I've sent you a creature that's nothing in and of itself, but can become anything you want. Take good care of it. From the master, the father of everything. Bro. We're just getting smacked in the head with just... This is it. This is the thing I asked for? After the creature was given to Traumerei by the workshop master, it was neglected in Traumerei's room for a very long time. And then, at some point, yeah, so I'm thinking like some of the things that these people that they have have been gifts. And then at some point, it became obsessed with following Traumerei everywhere since he paid no attention to it. As the creature followed Traumerei throughout his palace, it developed its own unique ability. It learned to transform exactly into anyone it encountered. The creature could even imitate people's voice and behavior perfectly. Everyone who saw the creature was shocked by it and said it made them uncomfortable. Who's this? Anyone that shows up, who are you? But not Traumerei. It was only then that he realized what the workshop master had meant when he said this creature was... What the workshop master had meant when he said this was a creature that was nothing in and of itself, but can become anything. What Traumerei really wanted was more than that. I want you to become human. What? What? Since you can turn yourself into anything, go ahead and become a real human being. So, if I'm deducing this correctly, I'm adding my own conjecture in this, like going off of his failed relationship with whoever that woman was. And he said that he wanted something that was like nothing in and of itself. Was he wanting a companion that he could control? Like, especially thinking about the flower as well. Like, he was unable to persuade her and to change her mind. Like, whatever she decided she was going to do is what she did and didn't align with Traumerei. And there's nothing Traumerei could say to sway her. So is this just a companion that would be with him no matter what he did, no matter what he said? Just someone that was just there, that he could just dote on or whatever he wanted to do? That's what I'm thinking. That could be it, to like fill that void of, I think I don't know. White Aura is made by McSeth, really? Traum Was Ponytail go hard. I agree. Maybe. All right, continue. I want you to become human. What? Since you can turn yourself into anything, go ahead and become a real human being. But why? Do you want me to be human? Like, but why do you want me to be human? Because I'm lonely. And then he just turns around. Okay. Lonely? Traumerei? I see. He's lonely just like me. After Traumerei said that, the creature decided to become human. According to the book where this story is recorded, Traumerei had several companions by his side while he climbed the tower. Many companions, in fact. But after their adventure came to an end, 2 of the Great 13 left the rest of the group because of a conflict of opinion. But after their adventure came to an end, 2 of the Great 13 left the rest of the group because of a conflict of opinion. That looks like bomb. Many of their members left with them and turned their backs on the remaining 11 people as well. This was back when the 11 didn't refer to themselves as family leaders yet. Oh my gosh! Eventually, they gradually began to grow apart from each other as they set out to achieve their own goals. It was only much later that they each established their own completely independent family. The creature made by the workshop master was aware of all of this, so it thought to itself, Traumerei must be lonely because all of his companions left him. The real reason he wants me is to fill the empty space they left in their wake. And so, the creature prayed constantly to become human so that it could be Traumerei's new friend. It prayed out the window. It even prayed while being stuck to the ceiling. It went everywhere it went, the creature prayed nonstop. Then one day, a being appeared before the creature. The most transcendent being in the tower. HEADON. It's been how long? What is it that you wish for so desperately? Look at updated head-on. You insignificant creature so eager to add meaning to your existence. Information about this transcendent being was already stored in the creature, so it knew that its prayers had been answered. Most supreme and transcendent being in the tower, I wish to become human. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about that. This tower is a place designed for tests and trials. Accordingly, there is a strict division between human challengers and other non-human beings. Is that so? But don't be too disappointed. There's another way for special beings like you. What? You may not be anything in and of yourself, but you are capable of becoming anything. Although it's impossible for you to become an entirely new human being, there's no rule prohibiting you from becoming exactly like an existing human. Look, that nasty grin, bro. All you must do is steal the person's body. Once the creature agreed to this proposal, the transcendent being took the creature to a bloody hunting ground. This was a time of chaos. This was a time of chaos since no one was able to reach the top of the tower anymore. All the previously rising energy from challengers dissipated throughout the tower, resulting in countless secret and hidden civilizations. I'm flowing. Let me continue. One particular warrior who stood before them was named Enkidu. So he was by far the greatest warrior that they could see. Head-on pointed him out to the creature, and without the slightest hesitation, the creature took over Enkidu's body. A few months later, Traumerei. Battle with ancient creatures. I gotta remind myself to breathe. I gotta remind myself to breathe. Okay, Enkidu came in hot. Long time no see, Traumerei. As this person walked towards Traumerei without any hesitation or explanation whatsoever, Traumerei understood immediately. This was the creature from his little fishbowl. I've come to be your friend as you commanded me. He realized what had happened to him. And as Traumerei finally got what he had wished for, I see a faint smile spread across his face. Welcome. Little did he know that this would be the start of yet another split. I'm not satisfied. God, I can't take this. Okay. All right. Hold on. To the top. To the top. To the top. Oh, God. Hold on. What are you guys saying? Hold on. 4 hour post. Dude, I need time to digest. Hold on. Alternate translation. This was during a time of chaos when the tower was no longer stable. When the news that it could no longer be climbed had spread vigorously throughout the tower, and pioneering civilizations emerged from many secret places. Gotcha. Like the scene of Head-On through the window, telling creatures how to become human. Like the Blue Fairy does Pinocchio. Since Redacted called him the fairy who grants wishes, which entered the tower. I like that, yeah. I'll send you the damn I wish. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm gonna keep reading. Old Traum looks much better than new Traum. Absolutely. 1000%. It feels like we're about to be stuck in cliffhanger hell. This stuff happened. We were wondering, I think last week, the question was asked, when do we think this happened? And it seems like this whole Enkidu storyline it's been a constant since they finished climbing. So it's like throughout the years, this Enkidu thing has been something. Hold on, let me ask Rother, hold on. Let me just... I think it's interesting, just going from top to bottom. Interesting that as a group, they stuck together most of the time. I think I told myself, off of what information I don't remember, that they must have not spent too much time together. Or not too much time, I mean like ebbed and flowed. Like they were together a little bit, then they'd break off into little groups and then come together as a big group, go through some stuff. But it seems like they spent majority of their time climbing together, which is interesting. Very interesting to me. I think it's also very interesting that Jihad and Traumerei have their own separate relationship outside of the rest of them. So it's like, even though they all separated to establish themselves in different ways, Jihad and Traum seem to talk to each other the most. Interesting to me because wasn't it Gastong and Jihad that came up? Was it Jihad and Gastong that came up with the whole princess thing? That was them two that did that, right? That's what was stated, or was that the propaganda answer? Those two came up with it. But then what then boggles my mind when I'm thinking about when these two came up with the princess thing is that Traum said something about him and Jihad coming up with the princess selection, and Gastong being like, I don't know, like, why you co-sign everything this dude says. Like, speaking, like putting it plainly. It's just like to form something like the princesses that will pull from every family. You would think that those two would talk, especially if they're ones that came up with it. But Traum seems to be the one. I don't know. I remember Traum never. Because I remember Jihad and Gastong were the brain children behind the princess system. It could be that. It could be that. It could be that. That they started this and then Jihad took it somewhere else. It could be that. Absolutely. Also, they still had, it seems like Gastong still has conversations with the workshop. Fairly regular conversations for people that time don't apply to. That's what's throwing me for a loop. I don't think I expected them to be as close as they were. So now I don't think I expected them to be that close. No more than like days apart was odd. that makes the whole situation with V and Arlen and all that stuff it magnifies it even more than I thought in my brain. And then it makes the fact of V like being like, I'm leaving, that magnifies that too. If they spent all their time together, for one of them to be like, I'm done with you. Yeah, I'm interested in that too, because they each of them, it's like, now I need, like, what was their party like? Because if they all had individuals that were with them, but they spent so much time together, how did that work? You get what I mean? Like, if they each of them had like close individuals that they were with, that they climbed the tower, like Towerborn, like how big was their party? If the 13 of them spent damn near all the time climbing the tower together. I'm now like, what the hell? Yeah, it's like more people than they thought would have went with them. But then that plays into the whole thing of V being more charismatic and having better relationships with the people of the tower than Jihad. So it's like when the fracture happened, a lot of people went with V seemingly, and it left the rest of the 11 to be with Jihad, just to be with them. Now it's like, see, that's why I'm like, why would only Arlen, Towerborn, and V leave? Why did nobody else choose to go with V? Was it really like they all came to a consensus, like, this is what we're gonna do, and V was like, nah, and Arlen was like, nah? I don't know. That's them being as close as they seemingly were. Imagine army platoons. That's why I'm always together, but separated by who the leader was. Yeah, but now I'm thinking, like, because I use Bomb and Company to mirror what the 13, I mirrored like Bomb and Company, their climb to them, and it's like, no, they seemed like they moved. My thought was this was an invasion on the tower. It felt like from the 13. And if there was a ton of people, they moved like an army throughout the tower, it seems like. It seems more so like that. So my thoughts of invasion and trying to take over the tower feels like I feel more strongly about that if there was that many people with them. No, I agree with you guys are saying. I can't get caught up. Hold on. Based on like more than a part, more like family ep. Extended team, I'm interested in that too. Yeah, we know Mersheo was one of them. Can imagine each family had something similar to Bomb. That I like that idea, in the sense that Bomb's main team was Kun and Rock, but he also had a second team, Wangna and all that. So Traum said a selection of princesses. It's probably meant that that even though Gus created the system, he is not the one in charge. And Jihad probably wanted to alter Gus's plan, which seems as common practice, since Traum said that Gus always nitpicks all of Jihad's ideas. Yeah, I forget you thought that. Completely disagree about an event. I don't. That's just my brain and my thought process of they came in here on a mission to do something. Like Jihad wanted to become the king of the tower, so that's why I think of invasion. It seems like he wanted to be ruler over it. That's why I think of like invasion. Like they set out on like I forget the words. They set out on a mission to do something under this insignia, right? Like under the Jihad family crest, whatever the hell his family could have been, to come into the tower. I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. They probably moved together a lot, and since they had to take administrator tests, yeah. Now the thought of how they climbed the tower. Thought I was interested before.